Hello, YouTube. It's ZiggyNo here. Thanks again for joining me. This is week 5 of the YouTube Sports Content Weekly Review. And this week, I'm going to be going over a little about, I think maybe close to 12 different content providers. Now, again, the goal of this video each week is to just whet your appetite and direct you to who I think are the right content viewers to be paying attention to or subscribing and learning more. I'm not going into too much detail, but at least a little bit, kind of a soundbite for each of the ones that I think are interesting. I'm going to kick this off with Cardboard Chronicles. Cardboard Chronicles has kind of been quiet for about a month. Last week they dropped the card ladder video, and this week they dropped a great interview with a Facebook friend of mine, Matt, over at MySlabs. I've been a big fan of MySlabs for a long time. I recommend MySlabs. I'm actually doing a piece on MySlabs in one of my future videos on my selling series, the summer selling series, if you're following that. But I'm really excited to see this video, and I thought it was really interesting to learn more about MySlabs. So check out MySlabs and learn more about it. It's a great platform to buy and sell graded cards. Baseball card collector, investor, dealer. I seem to have this guy on every week, but I have to say, man, he puts out great content, right? I mean, go check out his page. I look at him as kind of just as a historical view on sports cards. This week he did the high roller. This was the top 10. I also like this week, or I'm sorry, it's a top 20, but it's a 10th version of the high roller. He does a little trivia game at the end, which I thought was really cool. So watch the whole video, subscribe to this channel. It's taken off. I think it's going to blow up as more and more people watch this. Number one card this week should be no secret. It was the Zion NT RPA, almost at $100,000. Again, he goes over all the numbers of the basketball players, the sports cards, football players. There's a top football player on the list this week. So check out the video. Really recommend that. And again, you learn a lot by checking out and subscribing to this content provider. Roto Grinders. I mentioned Roto Grinders. I honestly didn't know much about them. I've heard about them a lot through fantasy football. I don't follow them with fantasy football. And you can see they've actually now built kind of a content around sports card investing. And they're doing a weekly event. They also have several weekly actually shows around sports card investing, which I find pretty interesting. One that just came out today, one they do weekly with Jeff from Sports Card Investors on that. So I've become a fan of this show and watching it and learning a little bit more each week. So big fan of this. And again, I didn't even know Roto Grinders had basically broke out their own channel into a sports card content channel. Bench Clear Network. I mentioned these guys last week. These guys are in full production, man. They got the 3 guys putting out good content. Really great episode this week was on the card show that baseball card collector went to outside the Dallas area. And it was just, look, let's be honest. How many people of us aren't thinking about card shows and going? And he went out there. He went to the show. He talked to people. There's a phenomenal clip in here if you're a Jeter fan. And if you like ripping old wax, which I'll talk about a little bit later on, but really recommend checking out the card recap show on Bench Clear Network here. All the other content there's excellent. A new content provider I came across this last week or so is Card Hour. Now, I met this gentleman through one of the Facebook groups I'm in, but I can also say he has the best content with soccer. Everybody I hear talks about, oh, soccer's been big, soccer this, soccer that. Sports Card Investor had a really good soccer expert on the show. This guy really breaks down for you European soccer. He's in Europe. He understands it. He's putting together his channel. Big fan of his. Hoping he does well. So if you get a chance, if you're into soccer, give him a subscribe. If you're not into soccer, still worth following because he's covering other other card topics, and just I really like to support the community here. So give him a subscribe. Reach out. CRT Sports Cards. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but still one of my favorite channels. I go to this guy every day. He's giving great insight on Project 2020, the ups and downs, what his thoughts are, the future, about the artist, everything. Check him out if you're in the Project 2020. I probably won't be talking about him every week unless some different changes, but I did want to bring up again this week because I think he put out some really good content. He talks about grading cards. He talks about the roof and the ceiling in the card market, but really worth watching. Another content provider that is kind of like meat and potatoes every week for me. And again, I tell you about these guys every week because they're still putting out good, relevant content. And that's Hobby Hotline. Saturday mornings, Monday evenings, 3 or 4 dealers, sports card guys, collectors, breakers, talk about the hobby. They have dial in. I've been on the show a few times. I really like the show. Check it out. More importantly, dial in, guys. Join these guys. Dial in, ask some questions, man. Participate in the hobby. Slab Stocks, again, another meat and potatoes channel that I watch every week. And I'll have to say these guys are getting their stuff together more and more and more. I like them more and more and more. Maybe I'm just trying to get used to the fact that I'm so much older than them and they seem wiser than me. I guess I have to just accept that. But I really do like these guys. I won't say their names because I mess up their names every time I try to say it. But shout out to the Slab Stocks guys. Sports Card Investor. He makes a channel every week. And again, just like the other meat and potato channels, putting out good content, putting out good interviews, right? You don't have to be a subscriber. You don't have to be a paying member to his network to get great information from Sports Card Investor. If you're in sports cards, you should be following this guy. He's got his finger on the pulse. He talked about this week InvestaCard and Star Stock. I launched my own, and you're watching my series right now. I'm launching a separate series on selling, and those are 2 of the 5 platforms I'm going to be looking at that really were inspired after watching this channel this week. So check out, Sports Card Investor, Sports Card Live. Again, meat and potatoes. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because this guy's putting out stuff every week. But look, he only has 429 subscribers. I know I don't have enough people, but somebody needs to pay attention. This needs to go viral. These are the best interviews going on in the market. Okay, let me just quote myself. And I'm not trying to mean anybody else. There's some great interviews going on out there. Everybody's interviewing, but these are the best. And I'll tell you why. He gets some really great guests and he asks them questions from you, the audience, and from him. Every other show I've seen, it's really been canned and it's very softy and cozy. And, it's not that I'm looking for a heated debate, but the fact he'll take, if you want to ask this guy a question, ask the question. He takes the question. Really like that. I have a lot of appreciation for Jeremy and Sports Card Live. Okay, Card Pack Rip. I want to keep my content, digestible, but Card Pack Rip stumbled across these guys this week. And let me just say, this has been the most fun channel I've had this week in watching. And that is simply because this guy has ripped some amazing, 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 amazing cards, okay? I don't want to give it all away, but I saw him pull, he tells you, a Kobe, a Brady rookie, a Wilt Chamberlain. This guy opens up some packs and he'll say he's promoting his own store, and his store is one of these places where you can come in and buy a spot in sealed old wax, which is really cool to me. I mentioned earlier about the Dallas Workshop or Dallas Trade Show and the Upper Deck, and I really have an affinity for old wax, and you can see the market's driving up the price of old wax. So cool concept. Anyway, check out his page. What's also really cool, let me just say this. This guy launched his page about a month ago, 2 months ago. He's at over, 1,500 viewers or subscribers. But on this one video right here, oh my goodness, where is it? There it is, Babe Ruth right here. 65,000 views. He pulls the Babe Ruth there. And I have to say, you have to watch this video. This video is like a classic movie where he's opening and you're teased and the drama builds and you're going to let go and it's going to end. And it is at the end where he pulls this. But my goodness, man, he could not have scripted this any better. 65,000 views a month ago. One of the hottest views going on out there. So check out the channel. Okay, Sports Card Kid. I'm putting a plug out for this kid because I just have an affinity for people, father, son, ripping cards, talking about the industry, talking about grading. Check them out. They have 124 subscribers. Let's blast these guys over 1,000. Okay, guys? Next one, those back pages. Wow. So listen, I'm going to close on those back pages being the last one, and it's going to kind of bring me into some things that you can look forward to in the channel. So those back pages, a very, very popular channel provider, content provider in the hobby. I noticed, he's at 1,500, 1,300 subscribers, but he's well known. A lot of people know this guy. He's not promoting himself. It doesn't seem like he's just a very down to good earth collector. And he has a really, really interesting rant on here. 2 really good videos. One about investing groups, right? And the other one about the lack of access to retail products. On the investing group, it made me think about this. And look, I'm going to disclose fully that I am a subscriber to Sports Card Investor. I do pay to get access to his content, primarily because I think his tool is the best tool in the market at this point. With that being said, I am very similar to him where I think, what are you paying for when people tell you to pay for certain things? What are you getting? And there are a lot of guys out there who are trying to sell you information or sell you opinions. And I really think selling opinions is different than selling a tool, but I won't get into this video. But I really want to shout out those back pages. I like the guy. I could feel for him. I understood his point. And it made me again think back to myself about that video I did a few weeks ago on investor collector. This really resonates to the collector inside me, and I think inside of most of us. And I think that's why this is an unusual market, right? It is a collector and investor market. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Again, in real recap, just to hit the people, give them all shout outs: Cardboard, Chronicles, Baseball Card Collector, Investor, Dealer, in that order, Roto Grinders, Clear Bench or Bench Clear, Card Hour, CRT Sports Cards, Hobby Hotline, Slab Stocks, Sports Card Investor, Sports Card Live, Card Pack Rip, Sports Card Kid, the Sports Card Kid, and those back pages. Again, guys, thank you very much. Really enjoy it. Have a great day, and see you next week, and see you every day if you're checking out content.